Two Gentlemen of Verona by A.J. Cronin. The story is about two brothers named Nicola and Jacopo. Nicola was 13 years old, whereas Jacopo was 12 years old. Nicola was a sober fellow, whereas Jacopo was a lively lad. Lad means boy. They lived in the city of Verona. Verona is a city in Italy. The author met them for the first time when he visited Verona with a companion, and the boys tried selling strawberries to them. Looking at their appearance, which was extremely shabby, narrator's driver Luigi said, "Don't buy, you will get fruit much better in Verona beside these boys." Well, as you can see in PPT that I have used THEIR, not THERE. This is a very common mistake where THERE is used. Students use THEIR and vice versa. Well, I'll explain you with an example. He is going THERE or THERE. You can say there is a book. Over here, THERE is used towards some place, whereas THIR is used for living things, especially human beings. For example, Ramesh is THEIR, that is their uncle, or THEIR, mother is going to the office. Well, back to the story. The narrator and his companion purchased the biggest basket of strawberries from the boys. Next day, when the author and his friend came out of the hotel, they saw both the boys polishing shoes beside the fountain in a public square. The narrator, out of curiosity, asked the boys what all they did for a living. Nicola answered that they did do many things, and added hopefully that even took people around the town and showed them various interesting things like Juliet tomes, etc. Well, Romeo and Juliet is the play written by Shakespeare. All of us know that. It is believed that they lived in Verona, and Juliet's tomb is the place where Juliet was buried after her death. Now there is one question. In above lines, as you can see the word hopefully, can you tell what Nicola was hopeful about?
Yes, ma'am. Nicola was hopeful that the author would hire them as guide.
Very good. The narrator and his companion or friend stayed in Verona for about a week and became very much dependent for certain things on these two little boys. If they wanted a pack of American cigarettes or seats for the opera, or just wanted to know the name of a good restaurant, Nicola and Jacopo could be relied on. During this 1 week, the author noticed no matter how the climate was, be it chilly cold or extremely hot, both the children worked very, very hard. They did several kinds of odd jobs. One night, when it was extremely cold, the author noticed that both the brothers were sitting on the stone pavement. Nicola was sitting straight and bundles of newspaper were lying in his lap, whereas Jacopo's head was on his brother's shoulder and he was asleep. Nicola told the author that they were waiting for the last bus from Padua, and once it came, they would sell those newspapers to the passengers in the bus. The narrator was really amazed at their ability to work and was sure that the way they were working, they must be saving a lot of money. When the narrator asked him that they must be saving lot of money and did they want to migrate to America, Nicola said they would love to, but they had some other plans which they did not reveal to the author. When the narrator told them that he was leaving and would like to do something for them, Jacopo instantly replied that on Sundays they went to Poleta, a small town 30 kilometers away from Verona. Normally they hired bicycles, but it would be great if the narrator could take them by the car. The elder of the two boys did not approve of the favor asked for by his younger brother, but the narrator was okay taking them, as he had already told Luigi, the driver, that he might have Sunday off, so the narrator decided he would drive for the little children. He was taken aback to see the boys going into a beautiful villa. The villa was actually a large hospital. Well, the meaning of villa is a large country house. The villa was actually a hospital where their elder sister, Lucia, who was around 20 years old, was admitted there as she was suffering from tuberculosis in her spine. The boys were working hard to pay for the treatment of their sister. The nurse at the hospital told the author that the children were orphans. Their father, a widower, was a famous singer. When he was alive, these children led a very comfortable and cultured life. She also told the author that their father was killed in the war between Germany and Italy. Their house was destroyed in a bomb attack. The nurse also told the author that Lucia herself was a trained singer. The Germans ruled Verona for 3 years, and the boys became part of an organized group to throw them out. Once the war ended and the boys came back, they found that Lucia was suffering from tuberculosis. Still, these brave boys, they did not give up and got her admitted into the hospital. The nurse said that it had been 12 months since Lucia was admitted to hospital and was making a very good progress. When the boys came back, the author didn't utter a single word about their secret, as he preferred to let the boys feel that they had safely kept their secret. The narrator was highly impressed by the two boys, amazed as he was at the positive behavior showed by them despite so many difficulties. This was all about the chapter. Now we will have a look on solved exercises. Read the following abstracts carefully and answer the questions that follow by choosing the most appropriate options from those given below. As we made the rounds, my interest was again provoked by their remarkable demeanor. They were childish enough and in many ways quite artless. Jacopo was lively as a squirrel. Nicola's smile was steady and engaging. Yet in both these boyish faces, there was a seriousness which was far beyond their years. Well, what is the meaning of demeanor? A person's behavior and appearance is called demeanor. A person whose behavior is very rude, such a person is called demeanor. A well-dressed person is called demeanor. A person who speaks very loudly is called demeanor. The correct answer is the first one, that is, a person's behavior and appearance is called demeanor. Second one, who were childish and quite artless? First, Romeo and Juliet. Second, Lucia and the nurse. Third, Nicola and Jacopo. Fourth, Luigi and his fellow driver. The correct option is the third one, Nicola and Jacopo. Nicola and Jacopo were friends, relatives, business partners, brothers. The correct answer is brothers. Nicola sat upright, tired. A bundle of unsold newspapers lay at his feet. Jacopo, his head resting upon his brother's shoulder, was asleep. It was nearly midnight. This is a second question. Why were both the brothers outside their home? They were waiting for their father. This was the punishment given to them by their mother. They wanted to sell the newspapers to the passengers of the last bus coming from Padua. The author and his companion asked them to wait for them. Well, the answer is the third one. They wanted to sell the newspapers to the passengers of the last bus coming from Padua. Why was Jacopo asleep? He was tired working all the day. He wasn't feeling well. His brother didn't let him sleep last night. None of the above. The answer is first one, he was tired working all day. After that, on whose feet the bundles of unsold paper lay? Lucia, Jacopo, Nicola, Luigi. The correct answer is Nicola. Now, one more extract. Read the following questions and answer them briefly. Nicola shook his head, but suddenly Jacobo said, "Sir," he burst out, "every Sunday we make a visit to the country, to Poleta, 30 kilometers away from here. Usually we hire bicycles, but tomorrow, since you are so kind, you might send us in your car." To whom is Jacobo addressing these lines? Jacobo is addressing to the author. Why did Nicola shake his head? Nicola shook his head as the author told the boys that he was leaving on Monday and asked them whether he could do something for them. As Nicola had lot of self-respect, that's why he denied, he shook his head. From the above lines, what opinion do you gather about the brothers? From the above lines, one can easily make out that Nicola was a sober fellow and sophisticated, whereas Jacobo was very innocent and childish. According to you, why is the heading of the story Two Gentlemen of Verona when the entire story revolves around two small boys? Well, the answer is the heading of the story is Two Gentlemen of Verona because both the boys, Nicola and Jacobo, behave like elderly people. They work extremely hard and don't spend money on themselves. They work hard so that they can pay the bills for the treatment of their elder sister who was hospitalized 12 months back as she was suffering from tuberculosis in her spine. Why did the driver stop the author and his friend from buying wild strawberries from Nicola and Jacobo? The answer is there are two reasons. First of all, Luigi, the driver, did not approve of their appearance, which was no doubt shabby, and he also said that they could get better strawberries in Verona. Next question. Why did the author buy the strawberries from the two boys only? Answer. The author purchased the strawberries from the two boys only because he felt strongly attracted to them even though they were shabbily dressed. Chapter 2, Mrs. Packletite's Tiger, written by Saki. The characters in the story: Mrs. Packletite, Mrs. Luna Bimberton, Miss Lauzia Mebbin, and the villagers. Well, Mrs. Packletite's Tiger is a humorous story. The story starts with Mrs. Packletite's strong desire of killing a tiger. Why do you think Mrs. Packletite wanted to kill a tiger?
Maybe because she was fond of hunting?
No, actually I'll tell you what the reason is. It was because of Luna Bimberton, her social rival. Meaning of rival is competitor. Mrs. Bimberton recently flew 11 miles in an aeroplane by an Algerian pilot. This act of Mrs. Bimberton created a lot of hype. Everybody was talking about it. Now Mrs. Packletite was very much jealous of Mrs. Bimberton and wanted to do something which was much more adventurous than Mrs. Bimberton's act. Therefore, she decided to kill a tiger. Mrs. Packletite has already thought that if she killed the tiger, she would throw a party at her residence in Curzon Street and would say that this party was in honor of Mrs. Bimberton achievement, but actually the party would be to make Mrs. Bimberton jealous because Mrs. Packletite's achievement was much bigger than that of Mrs. Bimberton. Not only this, Mrs. Packletite had thought of the design of the tiger claw brooch. Before we move further, let me tell you the meaning of a claw and brooch. The meaning of claw is a curved horny nail on an animal's foot, and brooch means an ornament fastened to clothing with a hinged pin. Well, as I told you that Mrs. Packletide had already thought of the design of the tiger claw brooch that she was going to give Mrs. Bimberton on her next birthday. Now answer my two questions. Why did Mrs. Packletide want to give tiger claw brooch to Mrs. Bimberton?
Because she wanted to make Mrs. Bimberton more jealous.
Until here, what impression do you form of Mrs. Packletide?
She likes to show off and has a jealous temperament.
Fantastic. She asked the villagers of the neighboring village to arrange a tiger for her, and she also asked them that a hunting expedition should be arranged in such a manner that not much risk or exertion was involved. She told the villagers if everything went off quite good, she would give them 1,000 rupees. The villagers were quite excited to get rupees 1,000, so they arranged for a tiger. Now the decided day came. Mrs. Packletide, along with her paid companion, Miss Louisa Mebbin, reached the village. Miss Mebbin was very greedy and valued only money. For the sake of money, she was ready to do anything. Both these women were made to sit on a platform atop a tree. This platform was built so that while the ladies waited for their prey to come, they could sit comfortably on the tree. Now a simple question. As in PPT, you can see that we have written woman, that is W-O-M-E-N, instead of W-O-M-A-N, that is woman. Can you tell me why is that?
Ma'am, because plural of woman, W-O-M-A-N, is woman, W-O-M-E-N. And here there are two women, that is Mrs. Packletide and Miss Louisa Mebbin. Therefore, woman, W-O-M-E-N, is used instead of woman, W-O-M-A-N.
Well, that was a nice answer. There are few words in English whose singular as well as plural form remains the same. I'll give you some examples. For example, fish, remains fish only. Now here remains here only. If we talk about sheep, that is S-H-E-E-P, it will remain sheep only. And like W-O-M-E-N, women, there are few words which when converted in plural, S is not used. Let us discuss about some. Like man, that is M-A-N, becomes men, M-E-N. Foot, F-O-O-T, becomes F-E-E-T, feet. Tooth, T-O-O-T-H, becomes T-E-E-T-H. Child, C-H-I-L-D, D. In plural form is C H I L D R E N. Man becomes men, foot becomes feet, tooth becomes teeth, child becomes children.